This summer we built a giant garden dome, and the key feature in our dome is the Eco Pond. The Eco Pond was installed about 6 weeks ago, and since then we've noticed some changes, and not all of them good. Besides being really pretty to look at and enjoy, the Eco Pond provides humidity, balanced temperature regulation. The nitrogen from the fish waste also helps feed aquatic plants.
And the pond water is nutrient rich, perfect for watering the garden.
So one of the things that's happened in the past 6 weeks is that the water's become really cloudy. Now this is a normal part of a pond acclimating. You start to get algae buildup. Definitely you cannot see all the way to the bottom. I've added some treatments to the pond, some beneficial bacteria, some things that help clear the water, and additional filtration and pumps. But it hasn't been enough. We're still struggling with cloudy water 2 weeks later.
Cloudy water isn't the only thing I've noticed. I've also seen that some of my plants are starting to turn yellow.
Right now I have 4 kinds of water plants. You can see some of the plants that are a lot more yellow and some that are a lot more green that I recently just added. Look at the comparison of the water lettuce here to the water lettuce here. So these are definitely healthier plants. Another plant that I have is called water hyacinth. The other plant that I have is called water hyacinth. This is something new I just picked up over the weekend. Apparently these flower, but they have like little bulb looking things and are very green. But check out the roots on these guys. This little guy is called frogbit. It looks like little mini lily pads. And the other plant that I have is called pennywort. Kind of looks like a seaweed that floats on top of the water with these little green parts sticking out. It's definitely a nice cover plant. But as you can see, some of my plants have started to yellow. So green, so yellow. And maybe the end's also getting a little bit burnt or nibbled on. Hard to say. But I have noticed that the coloring of my water plants, even the duckweed, is turning yellow compared to this darker green color that everything used to be. At first I thought the problem was pH. Our well water is a little bit hard, but the pH is about 7.5, which is pretty good for both fish and plants. So I kept an eye on that, and then I thought the problem was beneficial bacteria, so I added that. I thought it was maybe an overgrowth of algae, so I controlled for that, but still having the yellowing, and I think there's one solution left, which is to actually do shade from the sun. The dome is 33 feet wide, and there is a lot of room for sun getting in, even with one shade cloth hanging up. So it can get over 100 degrees in here on a daily basis. And the pond doesn't have any coverage other than the small amount of plants on it. So I think more of a physical covering might be the best bet. And naturally, I was really resisting this step because I want to enjoy the beauty of the pond. I want to look at it. I don't want to see a big cloth hanging up in front of it. But I feel like at this point, with another month or 2 of strong summer sun coming in, I can't wait any longer or I'm going to lose my plants.
So today we bit the bullet and hung a tarp over the pond, but fortunately this won't be here forever as we plan to build a deck over the pond and that will provide shade going forward. So here's what it looks like now. A little less aesthetically pleasing, but the important thing is that it's functional. The end of the tarp is held up by these wood brackets that allow for airflow, but it keep about 90% of the sun off of the pond. The fish don't seem to mind. But the backside of the pond is pretty open still. The insulation on these panels on the northern side block any light from that direction, and the tarp is blocking the sun that's coming in from the east in the morning and the south and the west in the afternoon, the hot sun. So if you look at the water reflection towards the front of the pond, you can see that the 10% sliver that is still getting some sun is all there is left. So I think it's going to make a really big difference. So hopefully these old plants can take a break, get a break from the hot sun scorching their leaves. Again, it's not the water temperature. The water temperature is only 80 degrees. So it's not the water itself that's hot. It's that microclimate of the plants floating on the surface and the water that's getting trapped there in the duckweed that's getting over the 80-degree mark, which is causing, I think, the yellowing and the browning of the leaves.
So fingers crossed, I hope this is finally the magic bullet to clear up our pond, save our plants. But stay tuned, I'm going to post an update either way.